Please welcome Veronica Antipolo!
Quite a bit shorter than you. Oi, sir, excuse me. Fafa's at it again, my grandfather. Filipino ka? Are you Filipino? Oh my God. I'm 8 years old and we're at Don Mills Center. Don Mills Center is a little strip mall. And we're there every day, sometimes twice. And the entrance to the end of the mall where Home Hardware is a 5-minute walk. With my grandfather, it's 30. My name is Florencio Antipolo. That's not an introduction. That's I am what you have been waiting for my whole life. The old man blinks and looks at him, doesn't know what to do. He's like, no, Chinese. My grandfather says, no, it's okay, we are all the same. He looks confused and he said, no, I don't speak English. Wait. My name is Commander Paul, but you can call me Commander. That is okay. The man looks at him and shuffles away as quickly as possible. He booms after him down the mall and he says, okay, until we meet again. Before he can meet another friend, I tug on his shirt and I'm like, Fafa, can we get ice cream now? Okay. He steps into stride, but it doesn't feel like he stepped out of stride anyways when we were standing there. I don't know how he does it. We go to Baskin Robbins and I get my usual mint chip chocolate ice cream. It's my reward, or it's probably my distraction, because it's boring. He does this every time. And I just have to sit there and wait for him. It's like watching Lawrence Welk that he watches on the weekend. I have no choice. My tita, when she comes with us to the mall, my aunt, she screws up her face and she's like, oh, it's so embarrassing. And she runs into a store and she stays there browsing until he's done. But I have ice cream, so I'm okay and I have no choice. We walk to the actual middle of the mall where the fountain is in front of Eaton's. And I think, okay, we've made it. If we get past this point, we're home free. And my ice cream's almost done. It's almost flat against the cone. I can see Home Hardware. But then there's an Asian man. Blah, blah, blah. Hoy! Oh, God. Commander Paul! Blah, 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 blah. Filipino ka? Oh, please be Chinese, please be Chinese, please be Chinese. His new friend looks at him and says, oh. No. Uh-oh means yes. Then he pushes me forward, says, aking apo, my granddaughter. I hate this part. It feels like invisible curtains are opening. And I'm supposed to come out singing and dancing? But I just stand there frozen. I'm like, I don't know what to do. And I look up through my sparse, straight eyelashes, hoping they're hiding me somehow. And I just stand there frozen. And his new friend says, anong pangalan mo? What's your name? I stand there. And Fafa says, go! Don't be shy, don't be scared. Veronica, I say quietly, because you always do what Fafa says. Everyone always does what Fafa says. There's something about the way he stands there and looks at you with his gray, almost blue eyes. It's like he's saying, okay, I did my part, it's your turn. And I know this act so well. We do it all the time. I know his act as well as I know mine, what I'm supposed to do. And so he's not dad age, my grandfather. He's not old either, although he's a grandfather. But I feel weird calling him old because old is rocking chair, tea, quiet. Fafa is a pinball, whiskey, and bad words. He likes to tell stories about how he pissed in someone's coffee at work because he said something to him that he didn't like and he wasn't going to do it again. And then in our kitchen, there's a bunch of green, shriveled up grapes hanging on the corner of our Last Supper painting. And I think up to this point, they're for Jesus. My tita tells me that they're for Fafa because he thinks if you rub them into your scalp, your hair will grow back. He's been bald my whole life. And when he takes a bath, he takes his laundry in with him, and he bathes in Tide laundry detergent. Why waste water? And we're going to do laundry anyways. But sometimes he takes naps when he's at home. And he lets me take my pink play lipstick, and I get to put it all over him. I draw stars and butterflies. And I know when he's not sleeping anymore and he's just pretending. And he thinks he's fooling me. But he snores really loud. And I pretend that I don't know that he's pretending because my favorite part is when he wakes up and he acts surprised and he looks in the mirror. He's like, oh, it's so beautiful. I didn't know that you're an artist. And he calls me Piling Kong Kong. Doesn't mean anything. It's a made-up word. And at the same time, it means everything. We go to parties, and everyone seems to know him. We walk in the front door, and he immediately gets scooped up and introduced around the whole room. And we're just standing there. I'm like, I guess this is what it's like to be with a celebrity. We're tired. We go home, we leave the party, but he's still energetic, and now he's singing, and he smells a little different now. And when we get in the car, he starts driving like how I pretend to drive with my friends, with our arms outstretched and our fists going wildly up and down. And my grandmother's sitting in the passenger seat, just going the whole time. Tita's in the back seat with me. Her knuckles are white from gripping the handle above the passenger door. And it's the 80s, I'm sliding. Back and forth with every turn. And it feels like bumper cars. But this time I'm glad that we're not bumping into anything. Don't be shy. Don't be scared. I've heard it so many times. So many times. I learned it. I started to become it. And then when I was 12, I moved in with my mom and my stepdad. And my mom is classical music and folded napkins and art galleries. And her sisters are varying levels of all the same thing. And I always feel like I'm underneath those levels. Like I need a step stool to try and reach them, but I can never find that step stool. And sometimes I straighten my hair. And they say, oh, finally, you look decent. Sometimes I say something that I think is funny or witty without thinking. And they say, Bruja ka talaga. You're such a witch. And my favorite, Veronica, you are something else. And I know that that something else is something that I should tuck away and not show. And they're not the only ones. In high school, I have my first boyfriend, Al. And I think he likes me. I think he likes piling kong kong me. But one day, we're in the hallway outside the cafeteria. And he's sitting on a bench, and I'm sitting across the hallway on another bench. And I decide it's going to be fun if I jump across the hallway onto his bench. I jump, and I miss. And I scrape a coin-sized piece of flesh off of my shin. And it's hanging there. But no one says, "Are you okay?" Instead, Mary Jane, who is always so coordinated and combed so perfectly compared to my loosely matching finger, two-souled self, turns to him and says, "She's so weird. How are you guys even together?" And Al briefly looks at me, and then he turns away. My coin-sized piece of flesh is still hanging there, and it's throbbing. And I can recognize the pain, but what I feel is her words and his reaction. And so I decide that something else is something that I need to tuck away in a box. And so I tuck myself in this box, I pull the lid down, and sometimes something else comes popping out like a jack in the box. I'm here, I'm here, I'm here, I'm here. And then someone, something, someplace says, "You better tuck that back in." And so I pull the lid down on myself and I stay there. But here's the thing. Fafa was far from perfect. So far. But everybody loved him. I loved him. And all those men that he was scouting, that he was recruiting, mildly harassing, he was actually organizing a community of Filipino veterans to make the first division of the American Legion in Toronto. They knew him so well that they would call the house, and I'd pick up the phone and say, "Can I speak to Commander Paul?" Okay, hold on. They organized barbecues, dinners, dances. The head of the American Legion came down from Montreal to give him an award of recognition. He organized this community of people, not by tucking away his something else. He was bold and unapologetic in his something else. So about a year ago, I decided, I'm gonna break out of this box. I leaped out, I broke that lid off because it's dark and it's lonely in there. I don't want to be in there anymore. Sometimes I surprise myself with my courage and my confidence. Like, who the hell am I? Who is this bitch? I'll tell you who I am. I am Veronica Antipolo. But you can call me Commander. Thank you.
The